being citizens.
In Reader's Digest, I read one quote, one sentence. Yesterday is a cancelled check.
Yesterday is a cancelled check.
Tomorrow is a post-dated check of a liquidated company. Tomorrow is a post-dated check of liquidated company. Only today is cash and cash it. I repeat, it's a fine sentence. Yesterday is a cancelled check. Tomorrow is a post-dated check of a liquidated company. Only today is cash and cash. Another snippet that I read, I would like to, with your permission,
Sure.
with your blessing.
This time is for that.
What's the value of this human body? That was the article, the title of the article. What is this body constituted of, made of? What are the ingredients of this body? He said, I don't remember because I read it so many years back at the age of 19.
It's a nice
When I was a student in the college, I read that article. In this body, what are the ingredients? What makes our body? There is water. 8 buckets of water. Against each item, the price of that thing was written. There is iron. How much iron? Sometimes there is no iron and iron tablets are prescribed by the doctors. You can make 3 small nails of a soup. That much iron is there. The price is written. There is carbohydrate. How much? 7, 8 buckets of water. 3 small nails for a soup. Then carbohydrate. How much? They can make 6 cakes of salt. That much carbohydrate. There is calcium in our body. In our bones and everything there is calcium. How much is this calcium? Lincoln White was a small bathroom. That much calcium is present in our body. There is phosphorus also in our body. How much? It can make 2 tops of 2 matchsticks. That much phosphorus is there in our body.
Tops of plastic.
And likewise, so many items, 27 items were written, and at the end, the price of all against it, and that was totaled up, and it came to $1.87 in those days. That what I knew. But Dada, this body of $1.87 is so valuable that you can't put the price of it on. It is priceless. And that is priceless because of the presence of something within. And that presence of something within, which is divine, that makes this body so priceless. A body which is made of things worth only $1.87 is priceless. Millions of dollars would be spent for curing one disease. You see? But why? Because there is something present within. But what is present within is I knew from Dada Bhagwan only. This priceless body is estimated to a price that is beyond calculation. Nobody can calculate, even after putting so many zeros, so many ciphers after one. Without it, this body is just ciphers without a figure.
But what value you consume against that? $1.87 and consumption is 2. So incur debt, indebtedness.
Indebted.
From which banks? That is called Fourier, value of beautiful life. You see, as I was going to tell you that I was with Dada Bhagwan right from tender years, and I have seen him from all the phases. In 1963, in my 33rd year, when he picked me here, from adverse circumstances, atmosphere, I saw like it. And then he made me realize that who I am. Suddenly, in the month of February of 1963, it happened. And I was about 5th or 6th, that is out. There are 5 in 1962. And Dada Bhagwan state that opened out in this frail body of A.M. Patel, what we see this photo, that happened in 1958 of June, month of June, somewhere, fag end of the year. But can you listen, all of you? What Dada Bhagwan form, divine, total, absolute form that got evolved and immense in this frail body of A.M. Patel opened out. That happened in June, second, 1958. From 1958 June to 1968 April somewhere. Dada Bhagwan, though such a state had opened out, nobody, I was there with him. In business, yes, sir. I was serving for 2 years and then joined family business along with my father, and he's together. And so is that way also. But nobody knew. Nobody. This is the beauty of such wonderful, great divinity that gets opened out naturally in adverse times, and particularly in present times, that is opened out, which is a rare occurrence. One can never believe in the whole of the world that such a state can be there. Supreme Godhood state in a human form? No. Even Jesus, Son of God, Muhammad, a messenger, Paigambara. But as a state, God himself. Even God cannot be his boss. No. That is the state that opened out. In the body of A.M. Patel. And that is how the importance of that body acquires. And with that, through the medium of that body, so many thousands and thousands of lucky, fortunate, this relative living souls got liberated. It never happens. Never. Normally, through the medium of such a Gnani, that is a totally self-realized, total self-realized soul, total, all through, all phases. It happens that he gets liberated out, and through the medium of his relative life, at the most 1 or 2. But it is said in scriptures that even 1 is difficult. By themselves, they get lived out. That's it. Such difficult path is this path of liberation. And in these times, this path that is being continual till today, that is through this body, is happening. Right. Body is an agency, mere agency, natural agency. When all the ownership of that agency, by owning attitude-wise, gets annulled, removed, mind and the state of mind filtered down at the speech level, and then last at the body level through senses and all. And yet the body in the relative life and living is amongst with you in all the relations, the way that body also in all the relations. You see, This is the beauty of this time. So, path of liberation is never a forlorn path of either renouncement or of doership. Alone I say, singular, no. It is a combined, simultaneous, one side, your wrong belief renouncements that can get renounced out through the grace only, not otherwise. Grace is a function of non-doership, total non-doership of such a state. And that state can open out in us. And that is, we are all, we are in that process. Beginning is there, and your process on path. According to one's own mind, speech and body assembly, we are at different stages. We go on. And yet, we are all together. Therefore, we feel all the same. Oh, Jai Satchidananda. We are not connected relatively anyway, and yet we are of one family. Like that. Do you understand? Huh? Yeah. In our Bharata, India, we call it Vasu. Kutumbam Sukasya
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That this whole world is one family. Even in religion also, relatively they say something. But conceptual wise, they say, how is it possible? How is it possible? And that's true. It's true. Such a big world. But everybody knows today globe has become minuscule, small. That is what? How? Youth forum. What is this? I cannot read it. It is gone now. JSS Youth, USA, Jai Satchidanand Sangh. Yesterday we saw all that. All family, one member family. You see? Gathering from all different places. Mukhmen, don't you know this? That's what it is. So, what I learned from Dada Bhagwan, this beautiful lesson of life, this very most precious youthful years for you, I want to tell in short that my observation of Dada Bhagwan started after I got realized in the 33rd year. Till then, he was my elderly person. We were together. I respected the way all of us in the house respected elders. But upon realization that, oh, he is no ordinary respected relation, elderly relation, but he is a supreme Godhood state here, personified. So wonderful. Very next day, I was at his feet, and so then it was going on, and my learned teacher was not liking that in the beginning. She felt that, no, he'll move away from me. What to do now? Problem. But child cannot be removed from the mother. So Mahatmas, we all realized are like that. Sir said, in the year 1982, he said, 82, he was running classes of students up to graduation and college too in Ahmedabad, that is in Gujarat state. And thousands and tons of thousands of students passed under him. And they are in so many good positions. Sometimes you won't know also. And someone, they say, oh sir, I was your student. Like that. That's very famous, his classes. So, the lesson that I learned today, I am going to disclose that to you. And Dada Bhagwan, being so close to him, and then my life was such that I could not be without him. Even though he was staying at Baroda, our family was in Bombay, but he was coming and going for business purpose, that's it. But he was all the time with me. And when he was going to Baroda, no, not a moment I could be without him. You see? I was yearning and yearning, yearning. Oh, the distance I cannot bear, I cannot bear, I cannot bear. Every child will not bear the distance from the mother, right or not? A cow will not bear the distance from the mother. Then somebody puts it, no. You see? Situation was like that. That is why she won't like, I know that. So, this secret of Dada Bhagwan's life and how, as A.M. Patel, he lived out his life. See, right from birth. And that was his lessons that he learned from life after life, so many lives. And he learned the mystery of time machine. Total mystery, which is never ever that opens out in this world. And that is how in this world everybody is puzzled. And that is how the beautiful sentence that came out of him, that the world is the puzzle itself. The world is the puzzle itself. Such a beautiful sentence. This sentence itself is good enough to be put for Nobel Prize to do research on it. The world is the puzzle itself. How come to say itself and not say by itself? No. Follow that. Great. That is the world. When you put by, then it becomes the world. All losing aspect is there. And the moment you go and grasp the meaning, deeper meanings of the itself, what is itself, oh, your joy, happiness springs out from within. What is sentence? It reveals so many mysteries of life. Anand, you understand? The world is the puzzle itself. What is world after all? Then he said, there is another revelation he made, that upside down I believe of soul is the world. So what is world after all? What is the basis of this existence of this whole world? What puzzles some? Not knowing. God has not, he says further, God has not puzzled this world. God has not created this world. And at the same time he says, and world is never without a creator. How come? Sada? There lies beauty. So, this research from so many lives when it came, and in this very life, naturally he was after this. And he never wanted. He said, he found that everybody after renouncement, exercising, doing that and that, to come out of negativities and dualities, you struggle. By struggling, how can you come out? No, there must be a way out, a natural way out. So natural way of life and living, that is how life after life, he was after that. He was after real, true happiness, but not out of struggle and struggling lives, natural lives living. That was how. But his attitude was to live life, even human life that he lived. There were also higher forms also. And he saw absolute gods before him. He was before them. And yet he saw. And he saw others struggling to achieve such a state. But he said, no, this is not the way. Sir, if at all I have to achieve this happiness, it has to be a normal, natural achievement. So that these people struggling and wrangling for happiness in between dualities can be released from these dualities and liberated out of my experience. That was his projection. Not any other projection that I should live for this or that or this. No duality, but this singularity. This is how lives after lives, and in this life, this A.M. Patel body got born as a natural birth. By belief, he had a certain religion-wise was there, because parents and all these parents came. But in his own development, that came was different. He was not after a guide that should guide him. He being himself in darkness, and he would guide him. What? No. My guide should be enlightened one, and he should lead me to light, into light. Lead thy kindly light. Right? That's the guide. Guide itself, by guide himself, not struggling guide, no. Easy. That is how they wanted, they become. So they move about everywhere like that. So, but what is the secret? That naturally, even in relations and relative life, he got married, he had 2 children, 1 son, then immediately after 2 years or something, daughter, both passed away. And then here, he was neither pleased nor regretted. And whatever few friends were there, they found him to be of high order than them ordinarily. So they were liking his company. So they were sitting with him. And they thought, what sort of fellow you are? Such children, a son coming, going when you are distributing sweet. What is a guest? Guest came and came. What is wrong with it? In the worldly eyes, it is son. Okay. But after all, guest. After all, who are we? Aren't we guest? In the scheme of Mother Nature. That is how human life and human being, natural living has to occur. As a guest sort of living. We are in relations, we are in house with relations and everything, but as guests coming and going. Birds on a tree, they gather together, right sir? The morning happens and they disperse. What is their life? Relation, how much? You understand? But for human life, okay. But what sort of why conflicts and this and that and this? It does not click me. What sort of click in this business is there? Doctors. Oh, but that is also part and parcel of nature. He did not say that it was. You understand? No. Right. So that is how he lived. And in 1963, I was with him in business. I used to carry out everything. He used to guide me. My father then was with us for 5 years, but he passed away. So the elders from my father, I was there, and he was in the place of my father, and it went on everything. My brother was there. We were doing construction jobs, we were doing waterfront structures. So almost 40 years plus we worked. So I was observing him, and I was looking after everything in his relative then, after 63 onwards. So our household were 5 brothers, right? And his household, all the 6 families that had to take care, that all are well looked after. So where he was staying in Baroda, every month regularly I has to take care of it, etc. He was not bothering anything. And he was knowing that Kanubai is taking care, that's it. Even his brother's wife, a widow, at a tender age, but she was a very pious lady. Her care also I was taking, she was in village. But neither he was cruel to any relation nor attached, but he was lovable by all. That I observed. Yes, sir. Another thing, regarding his personal requirement-wise living, home requirement I was taking care of. To my father also he had said, look here, our business is there, joint business, true. But business is business after all. There may be profits, there may be losses, whatever. So, whatever coming and going in the business is there, let it be on business account only. But for me, for my house, maintenance and all, please send me this amount regularly every month. That's it. So it was definite. Nothing in my or in my house also, it should go inside anyway or in our living. That should be of a negative nature of earning. That's all. And that lesson that he gave us was that in all commerce, it must be positivity based. And life, business, living, even personal living is nothing but commerce. Verily, life being a commerce, therefore business, profession, whatever you call, everything becomes commerce. Because to sustain, activities are maintained, or no? To get sustained out. But all sustenance happens how? That was his search. And there I knew that he told me this secret, that any human being that gets born with the total stock of his whole life, mind-wise, speech-wise, and whole body-wise, from whatever sustenance, materials, directly, indirectly, that may be required for sustenance, requiring for that body will be there, are already with him. He has brought with him. They were in such metaphysical, in such a nature, that the time of birth, the body is small, but everything lifelong is there. But for the gross body to grow throughout life and whole life to get phased out, external sustenance, that is requirement, that natural part, there's food, etc., whatever called. What are the basic requirements? Liquid intake, solid intake, basic 2. Then this should function basically. This is the most important function. Right or no? Then this should be protected somewhat by grass or this or that or what. In Stone Age, what they do. What other will do? They do vegetation, branch. That's what to do. And then you get, okay. But very body is your covering. But body needs a covering. That is all. But what is? After all, some covering is required. Basically covering. But it requires a good looking covering. Huh?
Good looking.
It should be good looking to whom?
Others.
You don't look to yourself. In mirror you go and see. The others should see. I still don't grow old. This must be died properly. Nobody likes that. Why? But this is the mystery of our life and living, that he found out that every body, human body that gets born with his or her full stock of life. Regarding the sustenance of the body every way, even for shortfalls of the body also, whatever sustenance is required, that is also within the radius of 2 miles or so, then nothing more, not more. But that was in times when natural sort of living was there. When the unnaturality part was crept in the life, distance enlarged today. And today that unnaturality has got so much large that globe is a small place for a human being to live. You understand? Globe is a small place. They had found concords, but they stopped it. But they are disturbing others. That's what to do. Career. Such a nice gathering. I like this youthful gathering.
પણ જમીન આરામ કરીને જ્ઞાની ક્ષેત્રે કહેવા નહીં તો 5 વાગ્યા સુધી બોલવા દઉં તમને માથું જ્ઞાની ના
It gets improved. Time gets improved in this. Little extension. So, mind-wise, speech-wise, and body sustenance-wise, everything you have got. Therefore, whatever the body requirement is there, that naturally supplements, that is always there. But what factor is in between coming in naturality that makes our natural living unnatural? That is what is there. Greed. That is it. Naturality is losing hope. So youthful years. So mind, speech, body in youthful years, in living out our body from within and without, for all our requirements from God within, without wise. Normally we are trying to living out with everybody as from without. But we are not taking care about how to live within. That is what is happening, sir. And that is what this science of absolutism, science of reality, science of absolutism, that is the science of the relative and the real, that Dada Bhagwan has revealed in the present day for common good of all human beings, helps us. Very understanding of it. That science, understanding of that science, makes us understanding of our inner living within, wise living. How to live within and not get lost out without, as less and less possible. Of course it is going to happen. Whatever is spread out now, that is there. But how best we can come down into the within, that is more important. In these useful years are very helpful. So in spite of having combats outside in the relative world, in the relativity, in all relativity, that you have combat with your relative number one mind, speech, body assembly by yourself as by your inner living, inner way of life. By you, verily, by your body and with your body. Live with your body as your best companion. You understand? And in these resourceful, youthful years, this sort of cultivating life is the best year. They are very good years. Up to 40 years, they are very good. Then now what outside without life says? Life begins at 40. What sort of? 40. Up to 40, we lost everything outside. Now we learn. Youthful years. Don't have combats outside. Let you have combats with your own self. That is the mystery and lesson that masters give to people who wants to live natural life, to everybody. Masters. Whose all inner foes and enemies are won over. They have never gone out to fight against those enemies. But they had their love opened out towards all relative existence in such a way that they had never ever had any sort of indifference or abhorrence of any sort. They had never thought of any attacking attitude at all. They were never thought of any pain-inflicting attitude of any sort. Never. These are the basic attitudes of a human being for exterior and outside living. Always it happens. You understand? This is how attacking and pain-inflicting. This is to all over the world, everywhere, even any religion, in social also. But in this science, with this divine vision, we are relieved of those basic two negativities, which are responsible for us to make us wander life after life. That is how we are relieved. So now we have to take care of, to see within ourselves that now we live with our mind, speech, body in such a way that we do not abhor or be indifferent to that body. And at the same time, not being indifferent to our own body, not being indifferent to any body. There is not that we love our body, but body will itself become lovable to us, mind-wise, speech-wise, and everywhere. And therefore, your love will emanate from within you. You see, it will be a singular, unilateral. They don't have any duality. That is called pure love. You understand? Sublime, they call it. A human being can only emanate from the human being. Paramatma, Supreme Godhood state, can be experienced, felt in human relations. How? In relations wise, how? Only through love. Love by all over the world is considered and described in so many various ways. You know, all of you. Love that is unattached, absolutely in every way I say. And yet you are amongst everybody. Amongst everybody. By interactions, every way, mind-wise also you are going to be there inside, but who is going to come inside you and know you? No. So nobody can know anybody's mind. But by speech you are going to, so they will be there. Oh, sorry, please, this is right. But inside speech is going on, what will happen to that? You have to deal with that. And that is the speech. And your body actions, definitely. Still, we are being taken, everybody is being taken care of by law or this or that, society and all these things. That is there. But if a realized one is there and vision is there, in every mind-speech activity in such youthful years, the way you are very living a life in this year where cultivated will be educative for everybody around you. Therefore, your youth years and your organization will succeed wherever you will go, I say. Let it succeed internationally. My blessings to you all. Particularly, you being in USA, it must start from here. Okay? It must start from here. Right? Hope for well-being of everybody. Chalo, but obey me. You are get bored?
Dada Bhagwan asim jai jaikar
હજી નથી કર્યું. બધાએ જ્ઞાન વિધિને સમયનું એક્સપ્લેનેશન તમે નથી કર્યું.
આવશે એટલે બેસવાનું કરીશું. અહીંયા બેસવાનું કરીશું.
This is the love of his mother, father, grandfather, and everybody. Whatever. And his God. His God love also is seen in me. In us. Everybody can see all sorts of love. That people, whatever think of love as what is love. Yes. Love gets displayed in such multifarious forms within us. From this body. Yes. You understand? Yes. Even these trees. If in my very presence, but you cannot understand how they feel, happy they feel. It's not easy for you to understand that. If there is a plant, the happiness feeling of that plant, ordinary people won't understand sasa. Those who have got fine sensibility to understand that, they will. There are, but there are very few of them. Do you understand? Even scientists know. But some, okay. Do you understand? See, I will give you one example. In our backyard, we have implanted 2 rose plants, 2 seedlings or 2 seedlings, right? And we are growing them, doctor, nicely. Your mommy likes growing all these saplings. beautifully, giving different flowers. So both the rose plants are growing. They have come to a certain stage. Right. But till certain point they have come up. The liking nature of the mummy is such that she likes certain rose. So she says, oh, this is sprouting beautifully. This is not properly sprouting. Such a feeling will be there. Both aspects. Put by very us only. And yet, out of these feelings that go to both the plants. Yes? Right? Who else? Who also have that feeling of a parental love from us? Yes. They do not like any differentiation between the two. No. They would like to grow on their own. No. Like that. But because of the changes and differentiations in our attitudes inside towards the two plants, one plant where our attitudes are negative, other plant positive, violent, I just disagree with us. That will grow nicely. And that will see the same. See what is happening. See life form. They have got feelings. Do you understand? Every way. And those feelings get nurtured by love from where love has opened out. Love has opened out in human beings largely. That is why Jesus said to all the human beings, love thy neighbor. Because you as human beings, I come here to give you this language of God, which is the singular language. It is not dual. It is not two sides of the coin. It is one way. That be happy all. Love language only. That's it. Be happy all. So you can see the crows, birds, fishes, this, that, corn in the fields, trees and all these things. To the just extent of your requirement, you rely on them. But don't rely on them more but beyond your requirements. That is no cruelty. Don't do that. You understand?
Yes.
But what human beings do?
Expect too much.
Excesses. Lots of excesses. Oh, in this present day time, this developed brain has resulted in great excesses. Great excesses. Otherwise, what are the needs of a human being? Tell me, Gita. What do you need to do? Just to eat so much? What tummy requires? Give anything. Tummy is okay. Just cover. Something to protect from the weather. Tries to બાવરના ટ્રેને શું કહે છે ઇંગ્લિશમાં?
બાવન ટ્રીન નહીં ખબર. Thorny plant.
Oh, that tree with thorns, you know? In India, nothing is able to go and below that tree and be get the shade. That is also happy. Otherwise nobody is ready to go there. Nobody will ever go. And Dada sat below that tree. And today that green tree out of the love of Dada, has grown beautifully and very green in Surat temple. It was small tree, and now it is beautiful tree. See Dada's love. Doctor, it was a narrow land, and just to spread my mat here, I will rest here. He took lunch there while going by road. Okay. This is the place where this three mantra complex, three temple complex will come up. So many desired that it should come up this place, that place, that place, that place, that place, etc. But ultimately it turned out here. A land not belonging to anyone. See how it happens. So that land was taken from government, not belonging to anyone. Is good enough? Or no? Or to take the land that belongs to someone?
It's not good to take from somebody else.
But then which one?
Only from God we can take it.
It is called voucher.
But voucher.
The land belonging to God. Cows.
Because people don't even love each other as neighbors, they have to have governors and...
No, it is always like that. World is always like that. If world is not like that, you will not like the world. Because world is with variety. If there is no variety, how do you like it? You won't like it, I tell you. In this Spartanburg, there is no variety, different faces. Would you like it? Same thing. It is not question of love. In all human beings, love is there. But everybody is on one's own. One has passed through so many phases like that only. Nobody is responsible for anybody except one own self. You are verily responsible for yourself, verily. For everything, whatever happens to you through mind, through your verbal speeches or through body sufferings, you are verily responsible. By this statement, a learned one does not say a cruel statement. It is the statement of God brought out to human beings who are subject to this duality. And then in the duality, they should try to love living their own life. They should try to love their own self. You understand? They should try to understand to love their own self. Love thyself. Love? Sweet.
Myself.
That is more important. Unless you love thyself, you cannot love thy neighbor. Do you follow? That is the beauty. But loving thyself is extremely, is impossible. Impossible. Only a godly stature that is prophet-like is with us, that gives you that divine vision. And with that vision you can live out. Yeah. You can live out with your own. You can love yourself. Do you love yourself? No. You don't love yourself.
I know.
You love yourself, of course.
Yes.
But
Yes, I know myself now. I'm a Suddhatma.
but you don't love yourself.
Love.
You
love yourself.
You don't love yourself.
I do.
And therefore, everybody is self. Or no?
Yes.
Sarah's self you don't love.
I don't.
And Gita's self?
I love.
Okay, simple. Gita and other two daughters too. How many sisters you are?
2 sisters.
2 or 3?
Her 2 sisters, that means including her 3.
3. You have got 2, but you are there. So you have to count yourself too. While counting, we forget ourselves. We ask, count the heads, Gokul, so many heads. So again we count, then why one is more? What do you count? How you count? Sir? No. You count again, sir. I count again. What is wrong in here? Then the sit calmly find out. The counter is forgotten counting himself. This is the mistake in life that happens. In everything. Doctor?
Yes.
Really?
So, Dada, you're saying that love defines our existence then?
Exactly. Because we exist, that is the truth.
So it's God's
This
love.
body, human body existence is very important. It may be lady form or he form or she form. It does not matter. It is mere form. But God element is the same in both. Do you understand? Body forms change. That does not mean that God element. There's change in God element. No. Do you understand? But because of the qualities of the body forms, the taste of the God is different in different bodies. Simple. Do you understand? But ultimately when you have the real taste of the God, that is one form. That is called realization. That is called
Realization.
of yourself. Selfhood state. That is God's state. Do you understand? That is Jesus' state. Jesus, we understand like a figure. No. Jesus was my vision. Do you understand? Jesus was my vision. He lived in a human body with God vision. You follow? And with that God vision, he loved all human beings as God's children. So he had no differentiation amongst everybody. And even in those very serious suffering also, he could say, "Oh God, please forgive them, for they know not what they do." Because humans are subject to doing. Repeat.
Humans are subject to doing.
God is not subject to doing anything. So God is subject to loving only. Only, but only in the aspects.
So how do you feel?
Doing
How do we get
aspects
the
are
love
given
of
to
God?
humans.
But how do we get the love of God in our lives?
That Jesus has told us. That
Love your
Jesus-
neighbor as
Ram,
yourself.
Ram, Krishna, Mahavira, all these, have you heard the name? Huh? All these, in the various forms they come. All these are human world to give the message, same message. In this vast world, in different places, they come. So, on this part of this world, Jesus came. And the another closer part, made in Middle East, Muhammad came. You understand? It was away from Kaaba. You understand that? But it was later than Jesus. That's how. But how Muhammad came? He could not come as a direct relation of the God, but he came as an indirect messenger of the God. Because of the development of that subject. And those developed subjects required such a messenger. These developed Jews, these people, they required a Christianity amongst the Judaism. You understand? So that Christianity was brought by Jesus. Christianity means improvement in living quality of Judaism. That is staunch living. Yes. And the human life is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. In any form, I say. Even Jews, they were tortured. They loved. Yes. At that point. In such adverse conditions also, yes, in concentration camps. You can, today also you can see that whole civilization and those citizens, they constantly move about and now they are settled. Same thing about Palestinians only. This is what is happening. It's good.
Because
You are settled.
love each other as
That's good.
neighbors.
That's good that you are settled. That is why. That is the place of quarrel, all the time conflict. And they call it the sacred place. Sacred war, waiting war. You understand? Yeah, life is wonderful.
Example of a character, how we can love each other as neighbors, as ourselves. You know, Jesus said, love thyself. Love your neighbors as yourself.
But unless you have got that vision,
In today's world, it's hard. How do we do it?
in this, no, world is world. What is world after all? Because you are Gita. If this Gita is not existing, what is your world, tell me?
Up in heaven.
No, there is not here. But where is Gita? For your world, I say. If Gita is not there, you know, there is no world for you. Simple. World is here, human world. What we live amongst everybody. Up and down, don't imagine. No. Don't go like that. Right on the ground. Don't fly in the air. Keep your legs on the ground. Do you understand? That is what Jesus taught everybody. Learn to live, to be on the ground. It's very important. Very, very important. Human beings. Yes? Mujosh? Jaji. Going to California. She is a master's in spiritual psychology. Now, going further for PhD in that spiritual psychology. Same what you say, same thing like that. And recently, just like you and all, from 5 years to 40 years, youth, about 200 of them met near Oklahoma, 60 miles from the Oklahoma State University, Stillwater. We met there. We were there for 4 days. And it was a wonderful experience. Doctor, you were there?
No, I wasn't.
It was a real good experience. Real good experience. You understand? We conduct that experience. You know Dr. Wise, who he learned from him, and you do Marianne. She came yesterday. She received this knowledge of self-realization from us, and her daughter by name.
Celia. They were here yesterday too.
They're so happy.
They took Dada's Gnani yesterday.
Karen also had it.
Yeah, Kevin. No, Jonathan.
Jonathan also came. You understand? We don't disturb anybody's faith or belief, no. We only make one realize as to who you are. Distinctly separate from the body belief that you believe that I am Gita. My Gita's mind, my mind. My Gita's speech, my speech. My Gita's body and body attachments, my body attachments. My body relations, my father, my mother, my husband, children, that is all. By just believing my, they do not become yours. Do you understand? But by getting detached from mind, they ideally become yours by love. Now you understand? That is very important. That attachment factor does not let you be lovable to your near and dear ones because of attachment. One's own attachment. Your attachment yours, his attachment his, your mom's attachment yours, your husband like theirs. Like children are small. When they grow, after 18 years, we do bring them up on this stage. I like youth because they are powerful and rebellious. So if youth come to me, I tell them, come first. Your life will be wonderful. You understand? This is the important aspect. And why I come here? 4 days I stayed here. What do I need? What do I gain? I am young, right? Am I not young? Or no? Then I don't get tired at all. Right? Doctor likes that I should come. But then said, my body should permit me to let me come here. Huh? So long as body permits me, I'll come anywhere and I'll go anywhere. Is it not so? That is what Gita says. So long as my body permits me, I can do work, house chores and everything. But if my body does not permit, what can I do, doctor? Papa, tell me. Papa, tell me. See, laughing, look at laughing. તમારા લોકો રહી છે છોકરી દેખને છે તો એ પાવરફુલ બિચારી મુજાઈ ગયેલી છે એ કઈ નથી You are powerful like Papa. You want to do so many things, but you are not allowed.
I love her.
That's it. To be as we are, to know and see, so that any happening that we have passed through as with our mind, speech and body assembly, having gone through that experience, any past cannot bother us other than presenting itself spontaneously in our present knowing and seeing our beingness. Right now, when the talk goes on, it comes. It does not stay and stick to us. No. And our status of being, we are as we are. We are as a being. Aren't we? All. That's it. Yeah. Can I? And therefore, we can see everything as it is or no? As is. No. Whatever it was, that also, by talking, that reference comes immediately, gets in here right now. Is it not so? Only for the purpose of knowing and seeing, that's it. And the function of knowing, seeing is pure function. The non-sin aspect does not remain non-sin aspect stuck to us. Does it remain so? No, how can it? Being I. For all of us. Hey, why you are silent?
No.
You be with me.
Always.
We are all
Oh,
as being,
as beings,
as seers,
as seers,
and knowers,
knowers,
as we are,
as we are,
to know
to know
everything
everything
that is, that was as, with us, today, with us, as knower and seer, whenever reference crops up,
crops up.
or no? So, but that's your major harmless.
છૂટકોટ
It's cool.
એના કરતા તમે બધા સાથે સેવ વધારશો.
Raj.
Dada, this is a very ignorant question. But it's a very important thing to know. If as a scientist I'm saying, if everybody in this living beings, human beings, are hypothetically in the knower observer state, how does the world function?
Exactly.
Everybody.
Exactly. That is what Dada has
If everybody says knower person, non-doer, how will Jagat go? It's not my problem, but I want to know how will Jagat go.
But such a state, happening and functioning is so spontaneous for the state to happen and for a period and time in the whole time cycle that is called kalpa, once only. Such a beautiful time comes. When such beautiful time comes.
there will be a time.
When at a time so many siddhas spontaneously achieve siddha state. Maximum number of siddhas, you understand that? That's it. That is the only time in the whole kalpa. And rest of time, it goes on waning and waxing numbers. But minimal is there. And minimum, between minima and maxima, it goes in there like that. This wonderful law is operative throughout the kalpa. Kalpe. It goes on and on and on. Nobody can interfere. No. Even today, such developed relative science also cannot interfere. Howsoever far they would try to reach, they will fall back. So much so. The more they try to go, the faster falling that process is bound to come. And not for scientists, for the whole globe. Yes, sir. It will be a global effect. Where negativities, for them to get washed out, not that they want to get washed out, but it is in the care of the grand scheme of the Mother Nature that those negativities need to get washed out for the remaining cosmic power, balanced nature and energies that remain has to remain such balance as to keep the world in balance. Everywhere, everything, whatever balance, living and non-living aspects remain. You understand? That is how it is. For whatever time it is to remain, still there is time. When it is going to slip into total darkness. He's going to sleep on his own. That human efforts will not make it sleep. It is bound to sleep. But that is going to another 38,000 years.
38.
38,000 plus. So much. Gradually it is sliding. But this effect of still understanding this, our own core, live and non-live, our own state of being, understanding and letting that understanding filter down for the layman through our Vidrak Vignan and the center, that's possible. As long a period as possible, through generations. Do you understand? That is our duty, we are bound on duty. That your generation, you last 25 years, at least you should contribute, right or not?
Yes, sir.
Where are you now? 50 years or 60, 51,
How old I am?
50.
Too old. 50. But I'm young at heart. I'm 64.
64. So another 37 are left.
Any bucks is fine.
So out of that we take 25.
So that means you also have to be around for
12 years
30.
will be for there.
But you have to be around for another 100 years.
Huh?
I will be for 37, provided you are there for all 37 plus more.
Yes.
Otherwise, you told us no power cut. So, no power cut.
And the Aptaputras must contribute
60.
not 25, but they will have to contribute 50 years now.
50 years.
Why they are late now? They will have to. Mind you, Bihari Anandji.
Okay.
कैसे contribute? આપતા 50 વર્ષ એટલે 2 generation, 2 generations. અને એમાં એક generation તો already તૈયાર થઈને આવી જશે. because બીજા 50 વર્ષ એક હશે. તો પછી huge amount. Then they will do further. Right or not?
Yes.
We have to. You must let this whole center knowledge and everything Vignan get imbibed in them more. That is our youth civic center is providing that feedback. From 5 years to 40 years. Right or not? Go.
એવું લાગે after we've received the knowledge, વધારે પડતું we start receiving more problems and then we have to deal with them. And so sometimes when you're ignorant, it's more blissful because you don't realize it, you know? But then you receive so much from all the files.
So, what do you want to ask?
So I want to ask why and why does it come so much?
So much,
from before?
okay, yes. This is going to happen for everybody. Whoever acquires this Gnani of self and realizes one's own self, immediately upon realization, first day, few days, for some people, few months, for even more Punyashali, maybe a year or two, like that. It will be everything, whole Pandora's box will be shut. Understand? And they will have that happiness of their self, real self, feeling all the time, taste. That everything will be happening in their life like that. But then, when gradually, one by one, from the box, from somewhere, one or more, 2 flies come out. It starts coming out.
Yeah.
They do come out. Flies inside also are there, because their nature is to get subtler and come out, and they have to come out. So they come out. Gross price may not come out because they are subtle. But then, as your relativity gets exposed, it is bound to happen. So long as it is not getting exposed, this will not happen. As simple as that. For you, gradually it is getting happened.
Yeah.
It is getting happen in such a manner that Papa has expectations from you, from Papa's side. Mommy has got expectations from her side. Your sister has got expectations from her side. For the time being, no other one. Or at all, if at all you have got a boyfriend, that you don't have. But you are so close. No. Don't come. Don't be sticky with me, anybody. Don't be. Nobody should be sticky with me.
Yeah.
I like peace.
Yes.
That is why you are asking this.
Yeah.
We know you. We'll find a way out, okay?
Okay,
We'll
please.
find a way out. In this youth shibir. We have got vacancy for you.
Yeah.
But we have to take permission from Papa Mummy.
Yes.
And you alone can come. You must bring some companion with you.
I'm enough.
young companion, young guys. Both shibir.
Oh my God.
In spiritual psychology, come on.
How do you see the other Shuddhatma Bhagwan when you feel that you're seeing the nun from more of a deeper perspective than others around you? So everybody around you is seeing it more relative, and when you see a situation with real.
What we can see is different, totally different. Our seeing is elemental seeing. You see? Do you understand?
Yes.
Shuddhatma is a perpetual element. The quality of the Shuddhatma as a perpetual element is more and sheer power. By that power, more power, elemental power. That elemental power wise we are seeing, being such an elemental state within, in this body elemental. Never. You understand?
Yeah.
Die never. So, the way we are with this body, we are with everywhere. With everybody, wherever there is life and living, we are. So, we can see everything as it is. Living as well as non-living too. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When our vision falls on any non-living man creation article, immediately it pierces and sees through and through to its core, to its originality as an element, material element that scientists cannot fathom. Nuclear scientists also cannot fathom. Now you understand? That is spiritual fathoming. It is not psychos. Psychos is related to mind. Science related to mind, and mind knowledge is called psychology. Anthroposophy is a new science. Sprung up in Germany in 1920s early, where first papers came there. And Practically it came out in 1928 from Germany and it spread all over the Europe and in California, America, everywhere, in schools. The school teaching from children, what is Montessori, like that. So that is different sort of teaching. Anthroposophy. So it is a marriage between anthropology and philosophy. Sophy is word from philosophy and anthro is word taken anthroposophy. From anthroposophy, sophy is removed. From philosophy, philo is removed. They are together. And new progeny has come up. Based on karma. Because anthropology. Yes, you understand? Based on karma. That thinking started in 20s about in Germany. So Joseph, this is a science of our real self that is distinctly separate from our relative body self, that very you are as Joseph, relatively. Okay. So real self, that is perpetual by quality, and the relative self, that is mind, speech and body of Joseph, name bearing Joseph, with all Joseph attachments. And whole stock of Joseph, which is not very large, right? No. And mind, it is not much. Mind. Yeah. Or large. Mind is small or large? Huh? Large. And speech? Can be containable? Oh, difficult one. This eyes vision, what eyes can see, containable? What ears can listen, containable? This is all this. Unless mind gets contained, none of the body qualities can get contained. You see? Mind, basic. At the mind level, initial vibrations of causal formations and creations start, whole process, creative process. Of forming your own self, that is there. For example, as a Joseph you are, unless that got started as causal state in the past at the mind level, as present Joseph is in the human form, the Joseph could not have got born. Yes, it's true. But while getting born, at the time of birth, you did not brought along with you the baptized Joseph's name. No. You had to borrow it. Or no. Or self-earned. Self-earned or borrowed? Name? Huh?
Joseph.
No, your Joseph name is your own self, right from birth?
No.
Or given by somebody? Huh?
Right.
So you had to borrow it. You bought it.
Somebody.
So it's a liability or an asset? That's it. Life is real good. Life is science. It's a wonderful science. That is the only science for everybody in all pursuits of life and living aspects to understand well, for our own good sake, for our own sake, of our inner happiness. Yes. So that being happy from within, we can be as an happy entity in this world towards everybody. Unless you are happy, you cannot make anybody else happy, no. Basic principle. Charity has to begin at home, or no? And perpetual happiness is verily your own quality within. There is of infinite nature, infinite. As bliss, there is singular in nature. And happiness given to body is dual, alternating, light and shadow, like that. And human effort everywhere in human life is in search of the happiness that is lasting, not perfectly knowing that I am after lasting happiness, but inwardly, latently also, because the very infiniteness and inexhaustible state of infinite blissful state is within you. The life pursuits are bound to be get directed towards that end, even though latently, without your knowledge. Yes, everybody seeks one's own home, abode, where one is at peace perpetually. Is it not so? So human form and human life, in that context, assumes utmost value as an asset. Priceless asset. And human life is meant for cashing out on that asset as much as you can. But not knowing who am I and believing what am I not to be I am, we get continually losing out on life values, getting into earning our own account in a dual state, credit debit state, and that too no choice. Simple.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ. નોર્થ કેરોલિના નેશનલ પાર્ક. દાદાજી જોડે બધા સિલ્વાની બાજુમાં બધા આવી ગયા છે સત્સંગ માટે. ટોપ ઓફ ધ માઉન્ટેન્સ.
If he had such a soul, what was the development of his soul when every suffering he saw it affected him?
What I tell you, what in scriptural utterances and exponents say, that has come out scripturally all over the world, as well as in Bharat,
Buddha.
in all the darshanas. That has come out with the soul as the center only, particularly in Bharat, and in other parts of the world also. The same center is their soul, but the soul center with its real power got displayed out relatively so extraneously spread out that extraneously that power got displayed out everywhere, and scripturally also it came out like that. That is what you follow Old Testament, New Testament, or all the beliefs all over the world. All over the world. According in this such a vast global, in the mass of the land that you have got, and in the mass of the water bodies that are there. Even whatever mass of the land which is very small, very, very small, in that part, humanity, whatever is there, or various of places, that is how it is. So, in this wonderful law of Mother Nature, in the field of relativity, the law that operates on the side of the relativity, not relativity as an absolute relativity. There cannot be absoluteness in relativity at all. And therefore, all the relative scientists cannot accept the word absolute because they are empirically based.
Empirical.
Reason, they are based on reason. They are based on intellectual perceptions. That is how it is. As simple as that. And because of that, all human life and human life faculties came to be under that power all over the world. But in Bharat, what you see, 3,000 years back, and up to 5,000 years, that power that was there was more of metaphysical nature, and therefore on human life and human living, it remained on whatever meager population what was there, remained as an inner way of living culture. Inner way of living culture, I say. Inner way means what metaphysicists directed and guided them to live this relative life of means through the body as a mean to reach the center as our goal, Brahman. That is how it was lived out. Simple. And there word put was Brahman. Brahman. Actually, word Brahman is on the relative side of a metaphysical nature.
Metaphysical.
Yes, sir.
Relative side.
Parik Sahib. But it is a very high order in the context of the present day sciences. You understand? It is of very high order. And even in India too, as in comprehension with all the 5 other darshanas, except Jain darshana. And I would say they put 6 darshanas, and which excludes Vitrag darshan, right? See, that means it is of that metaphysical order. Do you follow now? Hindu is not the original word, it is pseudo coined word. Later on, out of that Indus civilization, etc., and terminology, and because of the invasions of others, that is how it has happened. And particularly British culture, particularly. Word Hindu is no original word at all. And today what is the influence, sir? How many years we passed in the encyclopedia of Hinduism? How many long years? But we cannot argue and we cannot talk with them. How many millions are spent? And it was falling short, amount was falling short. And where there is real organization, absolute, that is spontaneously sprung up, without any effort. Right?
Spontaneously.
Yes, sir. It does not struggle for the funds. Neither. It is not asking for the funds from anywhere, any source, anyhow. No. That you should contribute here and contribute there. No.
Natural.
No. Sometimes here and there requests or these things will come. Oh, it happens so these people ask this people. No, it is like that. Because human mass and numbers are vast and various, something will happen, some talks. But those who are responsible, from them, it will never happen. Such projections will never go out. Yes. So you should always approach responsibles. Simple. But it's difficult to happen. When the numbers gather in number, when the numbers do not gather in number and they become one only, then it is peace at heart. Ekoham. But Ekoham. But it's to be Ekoham in this variety, how come? How can we not be variety-wise in various ways? How come? Let us come out and let us see what is this variety. So, in some way to become variety-wise, it is multifarious ways to become variety-wise. Mind-wise, speech-wise and body-wise. Gita?
Dadaji, but after taking Gnani, and after going through so many years,
no,
how Mahatmas are still having that problem?
Because Mahatmas,
it is totally irresponsible.
But Mahatmas, chutneys and bhajiyas, they're tasty, quite tasty. Still the tastes are there.
When you see and they say,
it is not that easy to come out those tastes.
Still in chutney and bhaji.
Yes, sir. Yeah. They appear very simple, but they are very complex in nature. Where in the dictionary of the reality there is no if, but. Why, when, nothing, all ever gone. There is only one word, yea, yes, that's it. Whole dictionary. You open out Apta Sutra.
That's it.
Whole of the Apta Sutra, you will have your answer before you. By yea. There won't be anything nay.
Nay.
No. You open out.
Yes.
But nobody takes care and to bother us and to open out. When everybody is bothered about one's own self and have one's own dictionary and open out my dictionary. But, pun. તારું ભલું થાય ડિક્શનરી તારી ભલી તારી ડિક્શનરી મૂકી દે તારી બાજુએ આવે ચલો કેટલા વાગ્યા હવે જોવા દો ચાલો બંધ કરી દો રામાયણ બંધ કરો
રામાયણ
the thing that I wanted to reveal, Adanta, that I am pure soul, distinctly separate from mind, speech and body assembly. That is relative my name-bearer self. With all its name-related attachments, right? And all the karmas attached to that mind, speech and body assembly as dravya karmas and bhava karma, no karmas, which are body related karmas, and bhava karmas that were before I got dissociated and separated out distinctly through the grace of the Gnani as myself as pure soul, distinctly separate from such a state that now I am, and just I believed that I am Uma. I'm so educated. I'm doctor. I'm this, I'm that. From life to life, I went on believing that and that. And life after life, what forms I went on acquiring. Infinite times. And from all that wandering, when the initiation of the liberation, the stage came in this life, Uma's life. It's a great event. Never ever that happened in any of the previous lives. It is called Apurva. That has never happened before. Understand?
Yes.
That is. So, having got ourselves as pure souls separated, our state has become an interim state between pure soul that I am, though realized, but I have not acquired that status of my being pure soul as a stable, all-time, perpetual stable state. No, because I am still along with this Uma, mind, speech, body assembly, right? That is given to duality, or no? And that experience of that Uma's body all passing through four modes is always there. So I have to pass through all that. So now as an interim state of my having acquired my consciousness of my being as pure soul, that is a conscious state within this perishable body, my conscious state of my perpetual pure soul state, right? That with that consciousness, now that life goes on as a liberated life, Jivan Mukta Dasha. You understand? So, with that Dasha, with conscious states, whatever Jivan Mukta state of life and liberated living that goes on now is called under Atma Dasha, interim state. Just like a new election is called for, government by Prime Minister resigned, but he is asked to take care of the government temporarily till the final elections and final government takes it over. So it's an interim government, right? So for us also, it's an interim state till our pure soul is established fully, right?
Yes.
That's how it is. So interim state, what does it do? After all, it has got dual functions. It is the function of a sannyasta sannyasini. Who's? Sannyasta means one who is got as totally absolved from all sorts of karmas. You understand? The karmas that are related and given to the acts of doership by belief state of mind, speech, body as of owned mind, speech and body and possessed. And because of that, you own the actions, activities that mind, speech, body are passing through, which are not your own, and yet you own them. Activities of mind, speech, body are not yours. You know that? You know? It's not yours. They are natural. You know that?
Yeah, what, Dada?
Natural. You don't know that? It is naturally conducted and operated. It is inspired naturally. Inspirational power is coming naturally. And because of that inspirational power, that is a connectivity of yours only, not anybody else's. Mind you, whatever mind connectivity is there, mind-wise, whatever speech-wise connectivity is there, speech-wise, speech functions for interconnection, and body activity, connectivity, every way. Just like a puppet has got connectivity for a puppet to get danced out and performing various shows. But puppet has to perform, no?
Right.
But puppet does not perform on its own. Why? Puppet is made to perform, right?
Manipulated.
And that is how we are inspired to act.
Is that
Unless
why?
we get inspired by really our own connectivity to a superior cosmic power, which is not an independent power, but a power which is our own, which was our field of ignorant field that was there in that cosmic arrangement in which our lifelong connectivity power, like molecular, subtle connectivity, like all connections are there through which we are whole, mind-wise, speech-wise, body-wise, we are totally connected. And we have got all these cables are there. And all those cables are operated from that station. Cosmic power.
Dada, that's why.
There's a central station. And these are our here. And different channels are in mind channels, speech channels, and body channels. You know that? She's laughing.
Can I ask a question, Dada?
Channels are different.
Multi-channel,
Arre Bhagwan.
infinite channel.
And our own channels. Nobody can interfere in that. And cables are there. Yes, cables. And that, or nobody can interfere at that cable.
No.
No. There cannot be rather what they call
Cordless?
that what
Hacking.
hacking. No hacking is possible. No hacking is possible. No.
They are
No
well
can-
timed.
Huh?
They are well timed.
Oh, no hacking of any sort. No, sir. Beautifully designed.
That channels are cordless.
Huh?
Cordless.
Cordless.
Without anywhere.
No, you cannot see it. And yet it is there.
Yes.
Non-digital.
Invisible
Non-digital, yet it's operative. Ananta. You know, that is called a secure. Yes, secure. But our independent state is independent. That independent state is akin to Siddhartha. Do you understand? But because of our consciousness, very next day, the pure soul, perpetual, infinite power that opens out initially from there, sprouts from there as Prajna Shakti, Prajna. That Prajna Shakti is a Shakti power out of infinite powers of power, infinite power, pure soul, they are there. You understand? And that as Prajna Shakti, that is responsible for our liberal stage to keep us totally liberated from all the relativities. This wonderful Shakti. Before, in the absence of the Prajna Shakti, a operative power between the two was that I am Uma. And that was operating as Agnya Shakti. Which way? Agnya. So verily, I am Uma itself operating as an Agnya Shakti. Agnya. Gna is indicative of a light that enlightens. Gna. Sanskrit word, script. Understand? Gna. और वहाँ से उसके ऊपर से ज्ञान आ गया. ज्ञान शब्द बहुत पवित्र है. You understand? ज्ञान र जो रू वगैरह शब्द है ना सब बहुत पवित्र है. तो ज्ञान शब्द बोलते हैं अज्ञान, ज्ञान प्रकाश. अ means where there is no light, and to believe that to be as light is that state. To believe in darkness, to believe that, oh, I am with light, is state. It's like that. But why do you believe? Because still you have got light. But what light you have got? A light that is on account of power, that is inspired power. Because of that inspired power, some light is there, which is a perishable light, which is called intellectual light. Do you understand? This is called buddhi. And that is operating as Agnya Shakti. Simple. Simple. Whole world is operated by that. whole world, including the whole of India. Everyone without exception. You may not believe. You may not believe, I say. Everyone, I say. Nobody can ever be free from intellect. Except by the grace of a Gnani, who is totally free from all the intellect and is free of all the intellect. No, it's not that he is nil of intellect, but his state of intellect is such that it is spontaneously active intellect that acts for purely relative matters in an instantaneous manner. You understand? It does not write a moment to pre or post, just instantaneous. That is that intellect. Can you think of such an intellect? It is called Prajna Shakti. No, not Prajna Shakti. Sita Prajna. Yes, Samyak Buddhi. That means on the relative mind, space, body aspect, the Samyak Buddhi that is developed to such an natural state, very natural state, normal state, that is given to total naturality. It is just an inspirational maturity in acting. No, you are not in that. So long as body and lifespan is there, it is operating. So simple. So Gnani does that. So in relative any of the matters, you ask a Gnani, and through Gnani you get your puzzles, solutions, clarifications. It is because of that. But it is again illumined clarification. Do you understand? Through divine light. There is divine light behind that. Do you understand? Because there is upyog behind that. It's wonderful, sir. Shailasha, you listen? Or no listen?
No, listen.
Okay, right? That is Antaratma Dasha's function. Antaratma Dasha function is a liberated state function of our own state that functions between the relative body and pure soul. It functions in a dual way. Prajna Shakti on its own does not come out and act on the relative body, for the relative body. No, Prajna Shakti merely cautions you every way and every step that, hey Uma, look here, that is relative. Now, don't you be on it as real, don't you? Just instantaneously caution you. Do you understand? For a moment, because of the force of the relative karma fall, for a flash moment, you may feel it as a real, but Prajna Shakti will caution you, hey, it is relative, you real Siddhartha. You understand? There are so many moments that will come. It's cautioning power. And because of the cautioning power of the Prajna Shakti, your absolute light of the Shuddhatma, that is absolute knowing power and seeing power of the each and every molecule of Uma, that gets known and seen. And to the extent to which the molecules of mind-wise, speech-wise and body-wise, they get known and seen, to the same extent, molecules of each and everybody naturally get seen and known by Shuddhatma vision, easily, spontaneously, as a tattvic drashti, tattva drashti. Do you understand now? In tattva drashti, there is no give and take, never. You understand? It is just knowing and seeing function. Merely knowing and function, nothing, no activity happens except the activity of knowing and seeing on your pure soul state. Soul as in pure element, Chaitanya. You understand? Yes. It is Dravya. It is Dravya. Dravya. Non-material Dravya. Beautiful. Full of qualities. Infinite knowing power, infinite vision power, infinite bliss, infinite flowers of what sorts. Because bodies body and body molecules have also infinite powers. And because of that, such a Parabrahman state and its infinite powers of a soul also has got entrapped into the body, caged. But because of the soul, infinite power, you can get freedom from that. Right? Do you understand? That is called Purusharth. Having achieved the realization of your Purush quality, you know that? With all the qualities and quality modes. Quality modes. Quality is never alone. It has its own modes. Without modes, it is never there. If there is a milk has to be with the modes. Otherwise, what is the value of the milk? If it does not result into various modes and gives us result as milk, what is the value of that milk? Right or not? What is the result of the siddhi that results into everything that you touch into gold? You like that siddhi? I will give you. Go now. Go. You can go. सूरज बताओ ने मेरी समझ में नहीं आता भाई
मैंने सब बता दिया दादाजी
राधे बोलो ने
दादा लघुतम
प्लीज
see in the Laghutam Bhav, they say you got maximum power, Shakti. Is it coming once you surrender?
Non-doer power has got a maximum power which can result in any bhava that can
fructify.
That can be have. Bhava has no power to be this way or that way. No. That is the point. In any of the state. No. But by mind, speech, body assembly is very clear and vichitra. Very vichitra. It will not let us remain so. Our ego state of mind, speech, body assembly, even though discharged, it will not let us so. Our Shuddha Vikalpa is a different thing. There can कोई भी उसमें अशुद्ध हो आ ही नहीं सकती कैसे आ सकती तो आपको दादा भगवान को अशुद्धता में खींचने चाहते हैं क्या तो सीधी बात हो गई तो दादा भगवान है ही आपके पास अब इस क्या बोलते हैं नहीं समझते
Baba, this is your most powerful talk you have given that I have seen. What you just said today.
It is perpetually.
You said even the gods only come because of the cause and effect. So you're really saying we have as much power as God.
I am. And therefore everything else is as
even
is.
Krishna came, that's why all the
Look here, Ananta, I am. Repeat.
I am.
And therefore everything else is as is. Never as it was, as was, or as will be, as is. I am. Always. Perpetually. And therefore everything else is as is. Not as was, not as will be, as is, perpetually. Or no?
Yes. You solved my problem already.
Molecular.
This is Lord Krishna.
But in
this is Lord Rama. This is Mahavira. This is Dada. Dada is ever and ever. Dada is not subject to. No.
Timeless.
Dada is I am.
That's it.